Hello everybody, it's Nurse Spencer, and I've been asked to read to you a story by Miss Smith called Rain Player, and the author of this is David Wesniewski. Say that 3 times fast. This is a lovely tale, and it takes place in the Aztec time. The city lay in darkness, yet the Akin Mai had been awake for hours. Trembling, the old priest consulted his charts and calendars once again. Quintillabil, they declared, a year of terrible drought. The sky reddened, and the blazing face of Lord Sun appeared. Without rain, his dreadful heat would soon devour the corn, and without corn, the people would perish. The Akin Mai blew a long, clear note on his conch shell. I don't know what that would sound like, but this is a conch shell. The people had to know their fate. Perhaps Chak, the god of rain, would also hear and have mercy. On the ball court, Pick played Pakatok with his friends. Like his father, who competed before the supreme ruler in full costume, Pick had great skill. He blocked a pass with his shoulder and sent the ball flying through the stone rings above his head. "Game," he cried. "Hush," warned the others, "listen." The call of the Akin Mai floated in the dusty air, and the boys ran to hear what the fate of the new year would bring. Pick listened impatiently to the prophecy. "Do the gods have nothing better to do than torment us?" he said. "Things would be different if I were the Akin Mai. I would just tell Chak to get to work." The boys' laughter was cut short by a chorus of croaking. The little frogs in the forest, the yew, filled the trees about them. Knowing you to be the heralds of Chak, the boys fled. But Pick, before he could take a step, was whisked into the swirling clouds above. The voice of Chak trembled like thunder. "Is it right for such a small creature to bear such large tongue?" Pick bowed before the rain god. "Oh, mighty Chak, I misspoke," he said politely. "I beg your forgiveness." "Forgiveness must be earned," Chak replied. Pick thought quickly. "May I earn it playing Pakatok? That's what I do best." "You wish to challenge me?" boomed Chak. Pick nodded nervously. "Very well," Chak agreed. 2 days hence we shall play. Bring a team if you can find one. 2 games of 3 shall decide your fate." "What if I win?" Pick asked. "You will earn my forgiveness and reign for your people," Chak replied. "And if I lose?" Chak laughed, and the air smelled like lightning. "You will become a frog and croak my name forever." "But I don't want to be a frog," wailed Pick. "You should have thought of that before insulting Chak," said Father sternly. "Challenging a god to pick a Pakatok. No wonder your friends refused to join your team." "Won't you?" Pick asked hopefully. "No, I will not," his father replied. "Much more than skill is required." He emptied the contents of a leather pouch onto a table. "At your hetzmek," which is something that happens when children are born, these things were placed in your baby hands. A planting stick to make a hole for the corn seed, and a ball. "To make me a great player," Pick interrupted. "It has done so." "But there is more," his father chided. "There's a jaguar tooth, that you might share Jaguar's fierce strength. And there's a Quetzal feather, that you might receive Quetzal's silent speed. And most precious of all, the water of the sacred Quenote, that you might make its deep wisdom your own. Seek their counsel. Perhaps they will know how to help you." Rising early, Pick came upon Jaguar by first light. "Atzlin," he said respectfully, which means I need help. Indeed, replied Jaguar, inspecting his claws. All the forest knows of your plight. Fate is against you, but a victory over Chalk would give us rain. That is something we sorely need. I will help you if I can. But how? Doesn't your father wear a jaguar cloak when he plays before royalty? Tomorrow, I will be your cloak. More than that, I do not know. At noon, Pick searched the trees for sign of Quetzal. Atzlin, he cried, I need help. Quetzal lighted on a branch and regarded him kindly. I have heard of your challenge to Chalk, she said. Fate is harder than stone, yet it must be broken for the rains to come. I will help you if I can. How? Asked Pick. Does your father wear a fancy headdress when he plays before royalty? My beautiful feathers will be your crown. More than that, I do not know. As the sun set, Pick lowered himself into the darkness of the sacred cenote. Far below, water swirled through the great caves it had carved out below the earth. Atzlin, Pick whispered, and his plea echoed in the vastness. With the faintest breath of air, the words of the cenote entered his ear. I know your step, the cenote sighed, for I flow beneath the ball court. Though fate says otherwise, Chalk's reigns must continue, for they are my constancy and strength. Go now, tomorrow I will be with you. But how? Asked Pick. Tomorrow, came the echo, and all was still. The next day, all marveled as Pick strode toward the ball court. A magnificent jaguar cloak hung from his shoulders, and brilliant Quetzal feathers streamed from his headdress. Then the people grew silent as the Yu announced the arrival of Chalk in the sky above. The rain god nodded his readiness to the Akinmai. With shaking hands, the priest held the ball aloft. Begin, he cried, and cast it into the court. A great gust of wind stole the ball from Pick, and a twisting column of cloud blasted it down the court. Chalk had sent a whirlwind to play for him. Instantly, Jaguar leapt from Pick's shoulders, seizing the ball in its powerful jaws. He sped to the other side and soared through the rain. One, shouted Pick. He scored a point. Again, the old priest tossed the ball into play. At that moment, Chalk loosened a score of lightning bolts. They fell with blinding fury, tearing the earth and spinning the ball toward the goal. Quetzal flew from Pick's head and snatched the ball with her talons, yet the lightning was stronger than she. She, clutching the ball, was driven through the ring. One for me, thundered Chalk. He came down from the clouds, and his colossal form dwarfed the tallest temples. Now I will break this tie. The ball fell to the court again. Pick scrambled backward as Chalk lifted his huge foot. Then, with a terrific crack, the ground gave way, and Chalk plunged into the cenote below. Racing skillfully over the broken ground, Pick set the final goal, flying through the center of the ring. Mine, he whooped. Chalk lifted himself out of the hole in silence. Without a word, he took Pick in his great hand and soared into the heavens. You have won, little man, Chalk muttered, and I cannot say that I am pleased, but we had an agreement. He placed Pick by the enormous gourd that hung from his belt. Gently now, Chalk warned, do not flood the world. Using both hands, Pick tilted the gourd, and a great rain gushed from it and fell to the thirsty earth below. Chalk kept his word to Pick that season and for many seasons thereafter. In time, the fine young ball player with the strength of a jaguar and the speed of a Quetzal gained great renown. He became known as Rain Player, for distant thunder greeted his entrance on the court, and gentle showers followed each victory. The end.